Hi Libra, and welcome to your 2014 November Tarot Prediction reading with me. I'm going to be drawing 4 cards out. They will span across the whole month with no set specific for any card. We'll just look at the energies that we feel are arriving and see how to address them for the month. So let's see what turns up for you. The 5 of Swords, the Moon, the 5 of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. Libra, the 4 cards we have here, we see quite a blue disposition in the background, which I tend to find, or I tend to feel, is not, you know, we look at the blue sky and we feel pretty okay about things. It brings in supportive energy for us and usually makes us feel happier and lighter. So there's a few argy-bargy energies we can kind of see, and this guy's face here looks as though he's a bit defensive and defending himself, and these bunch here are all having a merry old time putting their 2 cents worth in, and this guy here, he's sort of walking away from a situation as well with a bit of a look of satisfaction on his face. So even though we've got a light blue sky month, it feels as though there's a little bit of what I would just probably say is lightish aggravation around some situations. So let's sort of start from here, the 5 of Swords. You may find yourself with some mixed feelings about people around you in general, and a few people. You might just be going, oh, they're really annoying me, or why do they keep bantering at me or pushing me to do things I don't want to do. So it's quite important that you listen to yourself if any of these situations arise and try and address them, but remember, you don't have to speak every word you're thinking. Sometimes it's appropriate to just think things and not actually say them, because saying them can be misinterpreted or lead you down a path that's even worse than the one you're currently on. There may even be a case here where you find someone who leaves your life for a little while, like it could be a close relationship or a friend or any relationships, I guess, but you might find that they seem to swan off. Who knows what they're doing? They're doing something that they feel is important, but it's not necessarily long term. It's just that they decide to move away for a while. That's often the energies around this card, and we see that little bit of greyness in the sky there. The swords can often indicate words and arguments and tendencies to, as I say, want to speak your piece, but I think the overall thought here is that if we don't get too involved in getting into those verbal discussions that don't really need to be said all the time, it would be better not to. We have a little bit of the same feeling here with this 5 of Wands, and interestingly they're both 5s. So they are quite spirited numbers, you know, they sit in between the whole numerical system of that 1 to 10 feeling, and they feel quite satisfied with themselves. I'm number 5, nothing goes really wrong with me. So they do have a bit of determined energy when these come up. This one here has the feeling of other people butting in when you'd rather again that they didn't. So I think the message again is stand up for yourself, but do it in a manner that is going to, number 1, benefit you, and remember, you don't always have to shout out really loud to be benefited, and number 2, to calm situations down so that they don't get any further out of hand. So be the leader if you like, and be diplomatic about being the leader. You're completely intelligent enough to do that, so use your thoughts to think about what comes out of your mouth in a way that you can direct situations and be the winner. And this card over here actually says almost exactly that, that even though there's all this kind of competition around, and this can be in the workplace, it can be in relationships, it can even be with your health, eventually this is a promising card, and it shows overall positive outcome and you being the successor. You manage to stave off any negativity or any conjecture around you, so you manage to come out on top. And it does take a bit of effort. And as I say, this can be in all areas, but it is positive, and it's even a positive sign for your finances as well. It indicates that if you're going through a time where they might be a bit lean, or you're wanting payments to turn up that you've been expecting and they're not, just send off, you know, another notice of payment, and phone people and say, hey, I expected a payment, you know, a couple of weeks ago for a job or an invoice, and remind them. So keep on top of that and make sure that you do persist, because it is about that, and eventually these things will come to you. So it's a message here for you about keeping going with everything really, but accepting situations for what they are. Especially this one here, if someone wants to move away for a while, let them. Don't chase them, just give them the freedom, and probably they will come back eventually in their own time anyhow, under their own steam, and by then maybe things will have changed a little bit. This moon card here is a major arcana card, and when these come out, as you know, I always say they indicate that you will have in this month something that will be at a deeper level. And the moon is often about our psychology and our emotions and our femininity as well, and how we feel at those levels. You might be quite intuitive in the month of November, so if you get messages delivered to you and you go, whoa, well, that's pretty cool, or you get synchronistic events occurring, listen to them. This is the universe delivering for you specific information, and they can, when you uplift these messages and listen to them and take them in directions, whichever direction you want it to be, whether it's new romance coming in or business directions or health directions, when we listen to our intuitive or gut feel, those are the right choices. You don't really need to listen to anyone else. Okay, sure, people can give you advice that's very good, but deep down, you really do know what's best for you, and this card does indicate that as well. So if we think about the moon card too for health, again mentioning about the fact that you could be quite intuitive, tune into yourself, because you are literally like your own answering machine. It's a great time to follow your intuition regards your health issues. Now, if a diagnosis that you've had from a doctor or a medical person doesn't feel right, or you don't feel comfortable with it enough, go and find a second opinion. So it is important to listen to yourself, and it, also if you're using any form of alcohol or drugs or chemicals to reduce anxiety or tension, or, you know, to wind down, you would want to be very careful with this. Don't overindulge. So everything in moderation when we have the moon card, because it is quite an emotional card, so it can work in quite deep. So you have to balance things, and as you can see, the whole card is actually quite balanced, and it refers to balance as well for you for the month of November. If we think of relationships, again, it kind of matches this other energy here. It suggests that things might be, they could get quite highly emotional in November, and they could quickly become heated or uncomfortable, and the advice is to take a break if you need it. And we get that feeling with this person here who might want to walk away. That might even be you walking away from a situation. There's a whole big message for you, isn't there, in November about walking away from situations, or being careful how you speak, and, you know, not taking on board everything everyone else is saying to you, because I get a feeling that you could also be wondering, why are these people behaving like this? Why is everyone doing this? It's almost as if you go, what the hell? I'm not doing anything wrong. But it's important to listen, to hear what they're saying. And also, if this is at work, listen to your co-workers so that you understand each other, so that you're not making misinterpretations about communication that's being sent your way. And again, patience is being called for. So stay calm, and particularly if you're feeling as if these people are on top of you, it's really important to be calm and to listen and make sure that you've interpreted what is being said in a clear way, because then you can't be at fault if you've understood the messages correctly. So even though we see these kind of other people's energies around you wanting to have their 2 cents worth and sort of force you a little bit, I think the moon, being the major arcana card, is one that we do want to listen to a little bit more for the month. And that is definitely that if you're feeling confused about situations or people or which direction you want to head in, it's important to just step back, take some time and try and work out any uncertainty that's around you regards any of these other things. And don't let other people force you into the way that they want to go. There is competition or others butting in, but you will eventually, by the time we get to the end of the month for sure, be on top of it again with your own perspective back in sort of the right direction and back on top. So Libra, that is the end of your month reading. Now I'm going to find out what high vibrational card you're going to get to call on for the month. We have this beautiful deck of cards, and we'll shuffle them a little bit and see what energy you're going to have, what the universe is going to provide you with for the month. Gabrielle, inspiration, and that is indeed all about the mind and the thought and the direction that you're going. And Gabrielle is the healing angel, and it's a wonderful energy to call upon in times where anything needs healing, whether it's your emotions or your body or your relationships or your finances or anything. Beautiful white light energy that is coming in right into your core and up into the top of your head, Librans, and it's giving calming energy. Take a deep breath and visualize your breath force as beautiful blue light filling you. Gabriel will guide you to connect with the flow of the universe with God's breath. When flow occurs, Gabriel removes the tensions and holding points that have prevented you from creating love and joy in your life. Inspiration means to be influenced by the divine. And if you can take several moments to enjoy Gabriel's breath as your breath, relaxation will abound and creative ideas will swiftly flow into your consciousness. Therefore, allow stillness to facilitate the flow. Pushing doesn't allow it, it merely creates resistance. And that is what we talked about in the reading with the moon card, and trusting your intuition and learning this month to slow down if you feel as though others are pushing you too hard and demanding too much from you. Because if you get all wound up and stressed up, you won't be able to receive this magnificent gift of inspiration, of which we all need on a daily level. And Gabriel's energy, that divine energy coming in through the top of your body area, is going to help uplift you and provide you with the answers that you seek for the month of November. So thank you, Libra, for listening to my reading. I have really enjoyed it, doing it for you, and I wish you much inspiration for the month of November. Peace, much aroha, kia kaha.